Well guys, we're halfway through my Australian swim camp and my training partners Penny and Chloe are gone. They're not dead, they just went home. They raced 70.3 Tasmania this week. Chloe unfortunately crashed out. She was about to attack Chelsea Sodaro and probably put 5 minutes into her, but it was a very slippery, rainy day and she crashed on the bike, banged up her elbow, had to go to the hospital, get stitches. Penny also crashed, but rallied to get fourth. Third was just 18 seconds ahead. You guys should definitely go follow them on Instagram, keep up with them for the rest of the year. They're gonna do some good things. As for myself, the week started on Monday, as it always does. Coming towards the end of the Ballarat portion of the training camp, and I'm about to head up to Noosa, which is a storied swim ground. There's a legendary swim squad there, coached by legendary coach JR, who for a long time was the Australian Olympics swim coach. So I'm gonna have the opportunity to swim with that squad, where I will be probably the slowest person in the pool. And to prepare for it, we had a little swim on Monday. Well, it wasn't a little swim.
Where are we at, Ari?
Huh?
What are we doing?
Having these precision gels. These are lifesavers. Caffeines.
23. You do look tan. I hate to say it.
Everything, including the warm-up, was on the 1:30 interval, and unfortunately, I missed the interval on the very first warm-up rep and basically had to swim 2K straight.
Missed the cycle by almost 10 seconds. 1, go. 4, 3, 2, 1. You are well below the cycle. Down by 16 seconds, you gotta go. Swim at this point.
Look, I must admit, I was cursing you a bit in a few of them.
That was a bit of BS though.
No,
but you said you didn't care what the kick was. If I knew the kick was on a minute cycle, I would have just swam the second 50.
Sugar up. Well done, mate. You made the 1:30 cycle easy. Now you just got to translate that to 2s, 4s, 8s.
I can do it on the main set.
That's the easy.
Warm-up is going to be the tough part.
It's different though. You got fins, and then you start, then you do like 850s on the 45.
That's as hard a warm-up as you do.
Yeah.
.109.94. Can you kick all three wide, and Ari, you have to keep up with them. They're going to social kick. So it'll be PB kick for you.
Stay in the middle. 2.
Very social right now, Chloe. What was that?
You guys swim into the wall.
Oh. Yesterday was 10.5, so 16 something.
Oh,
It's pretty normal. I've gone 43 for the first 7 days, but then 36 for the second week, 42 for the third week. Training stats for this week. I only trained 6 days. I had my first full day off since I've been here, but even with that, I still trained 24 hours. 34K on the swim, around 10 hours on the bike, and 34-ish miles, just under 60 Ks on the run. So another really good week of training, specifically after the day off, which was Wednesday. On Thursday, I did a little hill climb TT up Buninyong, one of the local climbs here, and hit a massive power PB. I held 425 watts for 14 minutes. That tells me I'm in great shape. I've never really been close to that before. Then Friday, I had a very good 8,000 meter swim in the pool, a nice long bike run day on Saturday, and then a double swim day on Sunday. Can't believe I have to do 5 hours of training by myself today.
What is the plan today?
4-hour ride, just hilly zone 2 sort of thing. It's not easy, but fairly easy. And then session off the bike, a couple 2Ks and 1Ks. So before this bike, it's just a snack, not technically breakfast. So, 100 G's of carbs. How many grams in a cup of oats? I ran out of waffles. So, the key here is not to get to exactly 100 grams of carbs, it's to get at least 100 grams of carbs. Coach Scott is not gonna like this. All right, no, can't do it. This will be much better. $90 G's of carbs an hour. 2 of the calf gels, 60. 2 of the bottles, 60 each. 2 90s. Precision fuel. 54 minutes later than we probably would have left if Chloe and Penny were here. Definitely didn't have enough water or fluid. I only had 2 liters. Just didn't think it was gonna get that hot.
I think my car was saying like 29 degrees.
Fuck. A UV index of 12. That is extreme. I should do a sweat test as well. Go get my weight. 117.8 kilos. Minus 42.6 because the scale is stuck there. 75.2 kilos. So we'll go 30 grams of carbs in here. A UV index of 12. It's 2K, 1K times 2. Moderate on the 2K, hard on the 1K.
Have you got a pace in mind, or is it just feel?
It'll just be feel. Unpredictable with the wind and surface on here. I've learned after 4 weeks of this path to just roll with it. All right.
He is my son.
All right. Little cool down and then done for the day. Get some zinger boxes. That actually wasn't, I was prepared for a lot worse. Minus 42.6, 74 kilos even. So that is 1.2 kilos down. Put it in fueling. 75.2. End weight, 74. Fluids consumed. My sweat rate at that temperature is 2.67 liters per hour. Scott from Fuelin said you are supposed to replace double what you lost. I'm trying to drink 4 liters in the next few hours. I've had 1.5 liters. Literally one session like this could take me out for a couple days. Like just the next few sessions are just useless. But if you stay on top of your and you have someone knowledgeable guiding you, and you do the little things that you might not know before, like drink 4 liters of water after a hard workout in the heat, which I never would have done, maybe, just maybe, you can have productive training over the next few days afterwards. I would say the highlights of this week, Coach Scott from Fuelin came down in person to help me out with my nutrition. This is my breakfast. It's 2 Belgian waffles and some maple syrup, and we have a very special guest, which is Coach Scott from Fuelin. Scott, what do you think about my breakfast?
I'll put my toast down first. Your breakfast. Well, certainly you got the carbs in. Probably the quality of the carbohydrates is lacking. We were going through this yesterday. There's some unfortunate ingredients in there with palm oil being the main one that I'm probably not that fond of, but look, for Ari at this point in time, I think just getting the calories in is probably the most important thing.
So step 1 is just get the calories in. Could be better, but...
Yeah, I think, look, ultimately looking at how much training you're doing, especially on this camp, calories are really important for you so that you can maintain at least that level of exertion.
All you KFC haters, eat it. So, about to go ride for 90 minutes, VO2 max session with a run off the bike. We're gonna do some sweat testing and carb capacity testing. So for the sweat test, I just weighed in at 75.7 kilos, and all I'll have for this ride, since it's short, is this is a liter in here, has 60 grams of carbs and 1 gram of sodium, so 1 gram per liter, and then a Precision 90, Precision 30 with caffeine gel. I'll put those all into the Fuelin app after, weigh myself again after the bike, and then again after the run, and we'll basically see how much weight I lose from fluid over the course of this brick. So in a little more detail, I'm using the Fuelin app here to get some sweat rate data and log my carb intake. So here on the bike, I'm logging the duration, the intensity, the temperature it was completed in, and the humidity. And then I log the weight that I started at and the weight that I finished at. And then after that, I put in the amount of fluid that I consumed and how much sodium was in that fluid. And then on top of that, the amount of carbs that I had throughout the session. And I do this for the bike and the run. And then the app does some simple calculations that you don't need the app to do. But by using the app, I have all of this data saved in there that helps me really personalize my race nutrition. 700 milliliters an hour. Mm-hmm. On the run, it was 1.2%, lose 2.1 liters an hour. I think, well, I don't know, maybe you can say whether this is correct or not, but it is now my view that, well, it's always been my view that you need to hit the requisite amount of calories. I just didn't understand how much that was. So it's like, I think for me to maintain weight, I need to eat close to 7,000 calories a day.
I would say based on your current training with the swimming.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So right now, this is close to 30 hours a week, 40 Ks of swimming a week. I need to eat, including training. So outside of training, probably around 5,000 calories a day, which is like a lot. That's a lot to eat. And eating chicken tenders or going to KFC and getting a zinger box makes it a lot easier to hit the caloric intake than if you're eating, really clean, which are often lower calorie foods.
Shopping Ferrari.
What are we getting?
Scales.
Why do I need a scale?
Because at the moment you're losing weight and you're not being consistent with your weighing in before sessions, after sessions, you're probably not being consistent enough actually just weighing in during the week.
Yeah.
It's not about you controlling weight from a weight loss perspective. I think it's more about you actually making sure you're eating enough to maintain this level of training. And if you go historically with you, Ari, you've had issues with energy, you've had issues with injuries, and I put that down to you not consuming enough calories.
Which ones you think old school instead of digital?
Let's go old school, analog.
It's nice and cheap too.
It's $8.49. Look, the most important thing about any bathroom scale is that you use the same one over and over again. Make sure it's calibrated.
Only compare it to itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What's this for?
Nice selection of food. Look, honestly, canned fish, just super convenient for Ari. What I'd like to see him doing is just eating a little bit more fish, mainly for omega-3s, but super convenient for protein. So we've got some salmon slices, some mackerel in olive oil, and we've got sardines, lemon, chili and garlic. Plan is to get him to try it with some toast, maybe some eggs, a little bit of salad. See how he goes. And wash it down with some jelly snakes.
How much were these? Like $1?
$2, something like that.
Oh, yeah. Get off my ass. Coach Scott said. Well, I'll just roll the tape.
So I would say with Ari that his diet quality isn't the best, but I think in the scheme of things at this point in time, it's more about total calories for him. So talking to Ari, I think historically he's probably underfueled, or most definitely underfueled, and as a result he's suffered from that. So he's had injuries in the past from having decent amount of volume in his training and also intensity. So I think for Ari at this point in time, really it is about calories and getting calories in however he can get those in. Obviously, we probably look at total calories, then looking at macronutrient split. So yes, there is a focus on total carbohydrates, total protein, and then getting fat in as a means of getting in total calories. So is KFC the best choice for Ari? No. Is it a way of him getting in calories? Yeah, it is.
So basically this is fine. I burned about 4,000 calories this morning. If I don't want to be in a calorie deficit, I need to eat 7,000 calories today. So, Colonel Sanders. But I'd say overall it's been an interesting week as I was training mostly solo in the latter half of the week. Chloe and Penny were tapering for their race and I'm still training pretty normally. I was curious about something. So a while ago I read this book called The Culture Code by Clotaire Rapaille, this French author and psychoanalyst he does these focus groups to find out people's subliminal ideas or subconscious ideas about certain things regarding their culture. And he found that Americans, their overarching subconscious idea about American culture, the code was eternal adolescence. So basically Americans act like children about pretty much everything. Our politics are extremely divisive. It's a bit of a game. The way we approach sports, the way we approach food. And so in regards to the Australian method, I wanted to see if the way I'm training was just a result of my coach and my training partners and my immediate environment, or if there was something truly Australian about it. And I was very interested when I looked up the code for Australia. It was invincible. Based on the harsh conditions of the original settlements, the idea of the bushman, Australians have this idea about themselves that they're just hard motherfuckers. It really shows in the way that I've been training here. Like, there's no complaining aloud. Coach let me know that if I start faffing or complain on the pool deck the way I have been during this Ballarat training camp, I'll get kicked out of that Noosa squad really quick. Being down here, there's been a huge attitude adjustment. There's been a complete overhaul of what I feel I'm capable of. And probably most importantly, there have been extremely measurable improvements in how I've been swimming. I've taken about 3 seconds off of my 100 PB from the first day I got here. I'm now swimming 50s, repping them faster than I swam a single one on my first week here. Overall, it's just been really, really positive. I have to thank Sailfish for all the amazing swim gear, and Precision for making it really easy to get in all the calories I need during training, and Fuelin for just the accountability and the education, especially Coach Scott coming down in person to help me out. I couldn't do this without the support of those brands and the people around me, Ritz, filming, Coach, Penny, Chloe, everyone at Ballarat who I've trained with. There's something to be said about getting out of your comfort zone, which I definitely was in Seattle, and I think I had ideas about the way I should be training and what my potential was. And since coming out here, it definitely hasn't been easy, but just being here and immersing myself in a different culture and a different way of training has been massive. And when I got here in week 1, I wasn't really excited to race because I didn't think I was that fit. I didn't think that I could do anything significantly better than I had done in the past. And now, just 4 weeks later, I'm really itching to get after it because, again, being here has given me a completely different idea of the athlete that I can be. So even back in Seattle, that's definitely going to stay with me, and hopefully I can keep these good habits that I've formed going. Thank you for watching, everyone. Peace out. Bloody oath.